Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to my childhood bedroom. Yes, we're all back home, we're all going with the flow, we're all trying to think of content ideas that don't revolve around things to do when you're stuck at home. So basically I am back home for the foreseeable future with my parents and my sister, and I obviously love being with my family, but I am craving some interaction with other people. So I put up on my Instagram yesterday a couple of like question boxes things for a couple of video ideas. I'm going to film one this afternoon and one right now, which was basically ask my opinion on anything controversial, Disney, whatever. And I'm just gonna go for it. Like, honestly, I don't really know what this video is going to be, but there are some good questions here. So this is kind of a Q&A, kind of a, yeah, let's just roll with it. What do you think of Disney Plus and what are your faves? Okay, so Disney Plus launched on Tuesday this week in the UK, which was the first day the UK was in lockdown. They literally couldn't have asked for a better launch day. So far, my favourites are obviously The Imagineering Story, One Day at Disney, Disney Weddings. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I've already watched a few of those episodes and someday my prince will come. I have since looked up like the cost of getting married in the UK Pavilion, and yeah, we're gonna start saving those pennies because that needs to happen. It's never gonna happen. I tried The Mandalorian. There's 2 episodes out right now. I've seen one, it was pretty good. And what else? Just general like just Newsies, the musical. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Jeremy Jordan is in it. It's just all around such a fun time. They have perfected the art of like the hold pose at the end. I love it. If people have suggestions of other things to watch, drop it down below, but so far I'm loving those. I'm going to start on all the Disney Channel stuff soon. I'm also trying to watch every Disney animated movie in order, so starting with Snow White, then I saw Pinocchio, next is Fantasia. I've never seen it, so I've kind of been delaying continuing with that. That's what I'm doing, that's what we're going with. I will say there's a few like kind of things that are a bit about it. Like, firstly, I can't press a space bar to pause. That kind of bugs me, that I have to actually physically click pause, and there's no like inbuilt navigation to the screen to click back. You have to like click back on your browser, which I think is a bit but so far it's pretty good. Opinions on Haunted Mansion. Me and my sister think it's so overrated. I need to stop doing that face because I'm gonna end up getting like wrinkles here because I do all the time. I love Haunted Mansion, but I do think it's overrated, which sounds like kind of like weird, but like the amount of hype over that, it's insane. So people have like tattoos of it. Yeah, it's a little bit too much, but I do think it's a great ride. What are 3 Walt Disney World resorts you have not stayed at but want to? This is turning into like a kind of just Q&A, I guess, but let's roll with it. We have nothing else to do. Definitely the Polynesian, because I want to go down and get like a Dole Whip any time of the day and see the fireworks. Like, that'd be incredible. The Beach Club, I am hopefully staying there in December. And oh, the Riviera Resort, which I think is DVC, so it's probably never gonna happen, but it looks beautiful. Or the Wilderness Lodge, maybe Boardwalk. Worst Disney ride, show and restaurant. Okay, so the worst Disney ride is gonna be Figment because he is trash. The worst show, I don't know if it counts, but I'm gonna say Country Bear Jamboree because I don't really enjoy it. And restaurant, personally I stay away from Cosmic Rays like the plague because it just looks so overcrowded and it's just like burgers and fries and it's just like meh. But I don't know about if that counts as a restaurant. I haven't eaten everywhere, so I don't really have like a solid opinion. I have heard though that like Tony's is a bit just like Olive Garden, but again, some people seem to love it, so maybe someday I'll try everything and then I can give a proper opinion. But yeah, Figment, definitely the worst thing about Disney World as a whole. Hamilton the musical, love it. Although though, I'm kind of confused. They're releasing the full like recorded version with the original cast, like the full stage version through Disney, but it's not coming out till like next autumn, September 2021 I think it was. Like, why? They filmed this years ago, just don't really get it. Not a question, but Figment is trash and we all know that. Thank you, Kayla's Castle. Favorite and least favorite Disney movie. My favorite is, if we're talking about like just animated movies, is Beauty and the Beast. Tangled and Frozen 2 are like close by though. Honestly, they're getting up there, Beauty and the Beast, probably the amount of times I've watched them. And least favorite, one I can remember watching and really just genuinely not enjoying was Emperor's New Groove, but I haven't seen it for years, so maybe that's changed, I don't know, don't come for me, but I don't really love it. Generally, like just all the films that kind of came out in that 2000-2010 era, Princess and the Frog aside, they're not that great. Disneyland or Disney World Fantasmic. I have not seen the Disneyland one, but everyone says it's better. I will see when I eventually go. My trip for May has been rescheduled. Who knows when I will get to go now. But there are more important things in the world. Peace, love and pie, stay inside. Pineapple on pizza. Not mad about it. Have never had it myself. I don't get why people think it's such a sin. Would you ever consider moving to the US? No, not right now. Maybe when I'm like a little old retired person and me and my husband can like go live in Celebration and like be on our front porch and they'll be like, should we go over to Disney World? Should we like go get Woody's grilled cheese? Should we go see Fantasmic? Maybe then, but not right now, and especially not right now. When are you doing the CRP? I'm not. Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach, honestly the water parks aren't my favourite thing. I don't really like just walking around in a bikini all day. It's not the most comfortable thing for me, but I would say Typhoon Lagoon because it's kind of fresher and newer, and I think there's more to do there than Blizzard Beach, which definitely looks more tired now, but I do love the lazy river. Opinions on Disney housing. Is it really too expensive or is it worth it considering the benefits? It is getting so expensive now, like every program period they put it up, and I think it's getting ridiculous. I think when I did it was like $110 a week, which was decent when I'm thinking about kind of like how much my uni was. My uni house was like £80 a week, which is probably around $100, so it was similar, but I had my own room, but we didn't have like facilities like the housing centre and the buses. So I think when I did it, it was kind of fair, but I think now it's getting up to like a really unfair level, and especially for international students you have to stay there, so it's like it's not a choice. You do get a lot of support in terms of free cookies as well from Publix in the service centre. Always a pro, always get them on your way to your shift and the bus. The redecorating of the Walt Disney World castle, I was sceptical, but I think she looks super pretty right now. The blue is very bold, but I think it just takes some getting used to. It does look a bit like almost cartoonish right now, but I will look forward to seeing the finished result, and I'm sure it'll be good because everything is always good in the end. They're not going to mess up the castle. Like maybe they're going for that really intense blue right now and then they're going to kind of ombre it, maybe like gradient. Who knows? Let's see. Which is better, Into the Unknown or Show Yourself? I think Show Yourself. I agree. What an important question. I think Into the Unknown was amazing, but Show Yourself should have been pushed more. Probably because it's like a slower start and more like a gradual ballad. It doesn't get as much hype in the mainstream. But honestly, that sequence when she's like in the ice cave like Otterholler and like her mum's there and it's all going around and it goes like, you are the one you've been waiting for, I literally cry my eyes out. Also, we're not getting Frozen 2 on Disney Plus until July. Is the world not hard enough right now? Like, have we not suffered enough? Just, I'm sorry. Ooh, best West End Jenna. This is about Waitress. So there's a musical called Waitress. I love it. It's on in the West End. Well, not right now, but it has a residency. It just can't play shows right now. And Jenna is the lead, and there have been quite a few Jennas already in the short time that it's been open. There's been Kat McPhee, who opened it. She was from Smash, and she's just all around incredible. Then there is Lucy Jones, and she's like a UK homegrown talent. She was on our version of the X Factor. Then Sarah Bareilles was on it for a bit, a little stint, and I've seen all three of those. And okay, so Kat McPhee was my first one. She was the one who like got me obsessed with Waitress. I was going so much. I once went 3 times in the space of 2 weeks. It was a tough time for my bank account, honestly, and it's how I got introduced to caffeine. I learnt to love a latte. Lucy Jones though, she has like a different depth to the character where it's kind of more excitable, which is probably more like me. And then Sarah Bareilles, when I saw her, it was her opening night in the West End, so the energy in that room was electric. So I had to go back and see her again because when I first saw her I was like, oh, is she my favourite? But I think Kat McPhee stays my favourite forever. It's just so nostalgic for me as well because it was when it was like my first few months living in London that kind of like defined that period of time. So forever gonna be Kat McPhee. Her voice is just so soft. If she could sing me to sleep every night, I would be so happy. Yeah, I love her. None of you probably heard about that, but thanks for asking the question. What are your thoughts on Disney monopolising cinema? Okay, this is definitely a controversial one. Okay, so I love the big budget that they bring to it, and I love that, you know, it's obviously encouraging families to go to the cinema, but sometimes it does make me a bit uncomfortable when I sit in the cinema before it starts and every trailer is for a Disney owned movie because they're choosing what kids are exposed to, because almost every single film is by them. So kids kind of grow up in the way Disney want them to, like learning those kind of morals and values, and those are great morals and values, but it's a bit like, is this a bit much? But at the same time, there's no competition. Like, no one's producing stories as good as Disney or films as good as Disney, so it's an uncomfortable situation, but I'm also grateful for all the content that we're getting and how great it is. So it's kind of like an acceptable evil, not evil, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'll just sip some squash instead. Disney turkey legs, trash. You are not a carnivore, please don't eat them. What's the CEP clique? This is talking about the cultural exchange program, which is the UK version of the Disney College. Why did I just throw that? Which is the British version of the DCP. So this is when we really sip the squash. Okay, so I haven't really talked about this before, but my first program, oh, okay, this is probably gonna be some actual tea. Do I share this? Okay, so my first program, there was definitely some cliquiness going on in terms of people who had been on a program before, and they very much were like, these are my friends, I'm not going to talk to anyone new. We had like a first Walmart trip when we went, like as an apartment, and there was very much like a couple of the girls who weren't really like interested in talking to people who were new, like that year. They kind of just wanted to treat the whole thing as like all of their friends back together again. It was like, okay, you should just maybe gone on a trip by yourself then. There was definitely a kind of like divide I felt between like people who'd been on it before and not. There were a few people who were lovely, like Sarah, she was also in our apartment and she'd done a program before and she was genuinely lovely and so welcoming. But it's sad that like I feel like she was the exception, because that year they had a massive wave of like alumni who were re-accepted, so it did lead to quite a divisive split. So yeah, that was that. And then second year I was obviously an alumni, so I was very conscious that that wasn't going to happen. There was hardly any alumni in second year anyway, so it wasn't like it was going to happen. So it was a lot better in that respect. But I do think there's generally like, if you've been before, you just want to hang out with your same friends, which is fine, I guess, but not at like the detriment of making new friendships, having new experiences. Second program, definitely still some cliquiness and some bitchiness. I kind of was like friends with a girl, in a couple girls in the first week who by the second week or the third week I think it was, decided that they just didn't want to be friends with me anymore, and they just like wouldn't even acknowledge me like on the bus, or like we went out to a big like kind of group breakfast, and me and one of my friends, I'm not gonna name names or anything, but me and one of my friends, this girl just decided she didn't even want to like look at us. Like someone would say like, oh, Em knows the answer to that, and she just wouldn't even look at me, and I don't really know what I did. I still don't, because we saw each other one day and it was fine, and then the next day it was like she just didn't want to associate with me anymore. Like, I don't know, it was uncomfortable. It kind of made me realize that like not everyone who does the program is exactly the same as you. You assume that people love Disney, they're going to be nice people and friendly and welcoming, but that's sadly not the case. I'd say like most people, yes. I got very lucky with most of my friends, but I did have some like bad experiences, which it's unfortunate, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Thoughts on when Disney World will reopen? Honestly, it's not opening in April. I think it's at least May, if not later, which is really sad, but safety has to come first. I just hope they have a good response to how they handle the cast members and how they're going to be paid, because there's definitely been some like questionable companies in the UK, and how they've handled their employees, and it's no one's fault that this has happened, so I hope that they handle it right. How are you? I'm rolling with it, honestly. That was like really deep. Like, how are you? I don't know how I am. Just a few weeks ago I had plans for every weekend between now and the end of July, and now none of them are happening probably, and it's scary and so much up in the air right now. Working from home, being back home is really like, as much as it's lovely being with my family, it's really kind of strange. Like I feel like a student again, and I don't really know how to handle it, and yeah, I don't know. We're rolling with it. We've got Disney Plus, we don't have to be there for each other, and we can't really control the world right now, but we can control how we are to other people, and just staying as positive as we can. Have courage, be kind. That's all I can say. Will you ever do the DCP again, or a professional internship? Love you so much. Thank you. I don't think people realise that I'm 23. I know I look about 18, but I'm like way out of internship territory now. I have a job and it's going well. So no internship, no other program. Yeah. Your opinion on character performers who don't speak in the accents of the characters? Oh, the best one is Merida. I went to meet Merida with my Scottish roommate Lana. Merida's accent was a bit confused. She obviously, you know, she's from Scotland, but it sounded a bit Scottish, British, American, Australian, even Irish. Don't know what's going on with her that day. Do you think Disney is focusing on live action too much? Yes. It's a very easy way for them to make money and guarantee high box office figures, but I really miss original stories. And I loved Onward, but I want more new stuff. This is the last question because my memory card just said it was full. I'm gonna keep going for one more. Will you ever see a fifth gate at Walt Disney World? So, I thought for a while yes, because they've obviously got like such a high attendance for all of them and they have so much land. But then my sister kind of told me, she saw this video where it was like they're not going to do it because the average American vacation can only be like 5 days, so they don't have the time to go to a 5th park because, you know, like one of the days is traveling. So if they had a 5th gate, that would just lead to like no increase in revenue because people would just buy again like the 4-day ticket and not go to one of the parks. So I don't think so. I think they're just going to keep expanding the parks they've got because they've got so much land. Maybe someday, but I don't know if they will in the near future. I think they're going to get all of the renovations done at Epcot, and then obviously Magic Kingdom with Tron, Animal Kingdom got Pandora, Studios obviously got Galaxy's Edge, and then I think after that maybe they'll announce the 5th gate because all the work will be done for the 4 parks, but we'll see. So I'm gonna stop this here because who knows what this video really is. I have no idea what to title it. It's just me sitting down and rambling and talking, but I feel connected to you guys, which makes me feel less alone, which sounds really sad. But if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below your favorite Disney Plus recommendations because I'm always open to them, and any videos that you'd like to see that I can do from the comfort of my home, I'm open to doing because I have nothing else to do. Okay, subscribe for more and see you next time. Bye.